The rain hammered against the penthouse windows like 1,000 tiny fists demanding entry, but it was Connor's voice that shattered me first. "Justin, we can't keep pretending anymore. Not to them. Not to us," he said. His words slicing through the humid Chicago night, the fake wedding ring on his finger glinting like a lie we'd both bought into. In that instant, as thunder cracked overhead and his Julia wig slipped just enough to reveal the stubble on his jaw, I realized our desperate charade had birthed something monstrously real. Love, tangled with betrayal, threatening to drown us both. I slammed the door to the rooftop terrace, the city sprawl of Lake Michigan's edge blurring into a watercolor of neon and regret below. We'd faked it all for one night. My inheritance, my family's suffocating legacy. But now, with Connor's lipstick-smeared confession hanging in the air, I wondered if the real storm wasn't outside at all. The Gold Coast of Chicago wasn't built for secrets like ours. It was a playground for the old money crowd, trust fund kids slinging craft cocktails at rooftop bars, executives sealing deals over ribeyes at Gibson's, all while the lake wind whispered judgments no one dared voice. But that summer, with my 30th birthday looming like a guillotine, my secrets felt heavier than the granite facades lining Lakeshore Drive. I'd known Connor since we were scrawny freshmen at DePaul, bonding over stolen glances in the locker room and late-night confessions fueled by cheap PBR. He was the golden boy from the suburbs, blonde curls that caught the sun like wheat fields, a laugh that could disarm a room, and eyes the color of Lake Michigan on a clear day, blue and endless. Me, Justin Hale, son of Harlan Hale, the steel magnate who'd clawed his way from Gary's Mills to a Gold Coast empire. Dark hair, sharper features, the kind of brooding intensity that made people cross the street. Gay as a maypole, but you'd never know it from the closet I'd barricaded myself into with my father's expectations. Harlan Hale didn't do deviations. His world was binary. Boardrooms and backslaps, wives in pearls and husbands who produced heirs. My mother had played the part until cancer claimed her a decade ago, leaving me as the sole heir to Hale Steelworks, if I could prove I was stable. Stable meant married, settled, with a ring on a woman's finger and a nursery on the horizon. Last Christmas, over eggnog in the family manse in Kenilworth, Dad had dropped the bomb. Marry by 30, Justin, or the board gets the shares. Family legacy, son. Can't let it die with whims. That's what he called it when he found my high school diary, the one with dog-eared photos of Matt Damon and scribbled fantasies. He'd burned it in the fireplace, his face redder than the flames. "Men don't love men in this family," he'd growled. "We build things. We endure." So there I was, 29 and unraveling, staring down a deadline that felt like a noose. Connor had been my rock through it all, crashing on my couch after bad hookups, dragging me to Boys Town pride parades where we could pretend the world was ours. He was out, unapologetically, with a string of boyfriends who never stuck because, as he'd joke, they can't handle the upgrade. But me, still dancing around rainbows in the shadows. It was over takeout Lo Mein in my Astor Street apartment, views of the Drake Hotel's turrets mocking my stagnation, that the plan hatched. Connor, sprawled on the leather sectional in his threadbare Northwestern tee, slurped noodles and eyed me like a puzzle. "Dude, just tell him you're queer and done. Life's too short for steel mills and straight facades." I laughed, bitter as the Szechuan sauce. "Easy for you. Your folks are yoga instructors in Oak Park. Mine? They'd sooner disown me than diversify the portfolio." He set down his chopsticks, that mischievous glint sparking. Then fake it. One night. The big family gala for Dad's retirement. Convince the board you're hitched. By time to come out on your terms. I'll be her. Her? I choked on a spring roll. Julia, he grinned, all teeth and trouble. Your blushing bride. I've got the cheekbones for it. And that thrift store drag kit from Halloween 22. We say you eloped in Vegas, Quickie Chapel. No photos. By morning, poof. Mystery wife vanishes on a business trip. It was insane. Felony level stupid. But in the glow of the skyline, with foreclosure notices from my whims piling up, felt like salvation. Connor prepped like a method actor. Vocal coaching apps to soften his timbre. Hormone-free contouring tutorials on YouTube. A wardrobe raid on his sister's closet in Evanston. Think Pretty Woman meets Project Runway, he quipped, twirling in a sample gown that hugged his runner's build like a second skin. The gala loomed 2 weeks out. At the Art Institute's Grand Hall. Chandeliers dripping crystal. Black ties mandatory. My father's swan song to the industry that built him. Invites had gone out with a coy RSVP note. Join us in toasting Harlan's legacy. And a surprise announcement. The board buzzed. Dad preened. Panicked. Chain-smoking menthols on the balcony until Connor swatted them away. Rehearse with me, he'd say. Nights blurring into dawn. We'd role-play in the living room, me, the doting groom, him, Julia Hale, nay fictional. Darling, pass the caviar, he'd purr, fluttering lashes over those impossible eyes. Laughter dissolved into silences, heavy with unspoken what-ifs. Once, after a botched waltz, his heel catching my toe, we collapsed against the fridge, breaths mingling, his hand lingering on my chest. This could be real, he murmured, then pulled back, cheeks flushing under the foundation. But it's not. Right? I nodded, heart hammering. Best friends didn't cross that line. Not when the lie was all we had. The night arrived like a fever dream. Dad's driver collected us from the valet at the Palmer House. Connor, Julia. Sliding into the Lincoln's leather back seat beside me, her emerald gown whispering against my slacks. Close. The illusion held. Lace choker hiding his Adam's apple. Subtle padding for curves. Perfume a floral veil masking his Old Spice. But his hand in mine trembled. Clammy. And when our eyes met in the rear view, I saw the fear mirroring mine. You look beautiful, I whispered, meaning it in ways that twisted my gut. Save it for the vows. Hubby, he teased, but his squeeze said more. The Art Institute ballroom was a sea of tuxes and taffeta. Monet's water lilies gazing down from gilded walls like judgmental ghosts. Dad held court near the dais. Silver fox in a bespoke Tom Ford. Arm around his latest companion, a blonde half his age named Tiffany or something equally forgettable. He spotted us weaving through the crowd, champagne flutes in hand, and his face lit like he'd won the mills outright. Justin, and this must be. He trailed off, brow furrowing as we approached. Julia, Connor chimed, voice a lilting alto, extending a manicured hand. Julia Hale. So thrilled to finally meet the man who raised my rock. Dad's grip was iron as he pumped her, his hand, I scanning for tells. Eloped. Vegas. Bold move. Son. She's striking. A pause. Then a bark of laughter that echoed off the marble. Welcome to the family, Julia. Let's make it official. The toast came at 9 sharp. Spotlights bathed the dais. A string quartet sawed Vivaldi. Dad at the podium, voice booming. 40 years grinding steel into skylines. And now, handing the reins to my boy, who's finally stepping up. Murmurs rippled. Eyes turned. I led Julia forward, her arm looped in mine, the room's heat pressing like a vice. Ladies and gentlemen, I began, throat dry as the Sahara. Harlan Hale built empires. Tonight, I'm building a future with my wife. Julia, gasps, applause. Connor beamed, tilting her head just so, and for a heartbeat, it worked. The board nodded approval. Dad's chest swelled. We clinked glasses, sealing the farce in bubbles and lies. But as the quartet struck up at last, and I pulled her onto the floor, his body familiar yet alien in silk, I felt the first crack. His waist under my palm, the sway of hips we joked about in college. You're killing it, I murmured into her ear, nuzzling the wig. Am I? A hitch in the alto. Or am I just me? The dance blurred into toasts. Schmoozing steel barons from Gary to Gary, Indiana. Connor fielded questions with improv flair. Met at a charity gala, opposites attract. Or Vegas was impulsive. Loves like that. But by the tiramisu course, the wine flowing freer than the lake, fatigue crept in. Dad cornered us near the impressionists, cigar smoke curling like accusations. Tell me, Julia, he drawled, eyes narrowing at Connor's subtle jawline. What's a girl like you see in a workaholic like Justin? He barely dates. Connor's laugh tinkled like crystal. Oh, Harlan, he's all heart under that steel. Swept me off my feet, literally, in a tango class. But Dad's gaze lingered, probing, and I stepped in, arm snaking possessive around her waist. She's the best thing that's happened to me. That. End of story. He grunted, mollified for now. But as he wandered to refill his scotch, Connor sagged against me. Close one. Your old man's sharper than he looks. Like a buzzsaw. I steered us toward the terrace doors, needing air. The night was velvet black, city lights fracturing on the water. We leaned on the balustrade, gowns and tuxes out of place among the potted palms. Thanks for this, I said, voice low. I owe you. Don't. He turned, the wig catching moonlight, making him ethereal. I'd do anything for you, Jay. Always have. The words hung, charged. His hand brushed mine, fingers intertwining, accidental, then not. The quartet's fade left only distant chatter and our breaths sinking. I leaned in, drawn like gravity, lips inches from his painted ones. Connor, a cough shattered it. Dad, looming in the doorway, glass in hand. There you are. Board wants photos. Julia, smile pretty, saved by the flashbulbs. But as we posed, arms linked, grins plastered, the seed planted. That night, the plan wasn't just working. It was awakening something we'd buried under bro code and denial. Back at the apartment by 1 a.m., the limo depositing us like discarded props, Connor kicked off the heels in the foyer, groaning theatrically. Feet of a drag queen, soul of a linebacker. He hobbled to the couch, peeling off the wig to reveal sweat-damp curls. I poured scotch neat, handing him a tumbler before collapsing beside him. To survival, I toasted. To delusions, he clinked, then downed it in one, Adam's apple bobbing free of illusion. Makeup smears shadowed his eyes, making him look haunted, beautiful. We pulled it off. Your dad's buying it for now. Yeah. Silence stretched, the rain starting its tattoo on the windows. I watched him, really watched. The freckles across his nose from summers in Wisconsin. The scar on his knuckle from a skateboarding wipeout we'd laughed about freshman year. You were incredible tonight. Like Oscar level. He flushed, averting to the skyline. Flattery gets you nowhere. Hail. But felt good. Being yours, even pretend. My pulse thrummed. What if it wasn't pretend? The words escaped before reason clamped down. Connor froze, glass midway to lips. Jay. Don't. Why not? Pressed, reckless from adrenaline and aged Macallan. We've been circling this since college. The looks, the almost. Tonight, God, dancing with you, it was wrong. He set the glass down, hard. I'm your best friend. This, he gestured between us, then to the gown pooled at his waist. This was a favor. A lie to your dad. Crossing into real, it'd ruin us. Ruin? I laughed. Sharp. Or fix. I'm tired of hiding. Con. From him. From me. From you. He stood, pacing to the window, backlit by lightning forks. You think it's that easy? I've watched you date those closet cases. Break your own heart. And me? I've loved you through it all. Idiot. But saying it? It'd torch everything. Loved. Past tense? Present. The room spun. I rose, closing the distance. Hands on his shoulders, bare now. Gown unzipped halfway. Then say it. Torch it. I'm done with safe. Thunder boomed, masking his exhale. He turned, eyes stormy, and for a heartbeat, I hoped he'd bridge the gap. Instead, he stepped back, grabbing the wig like a shield. Not like this. Not on a lie's high. He forced a grin, brittle. Go to bed, Justin. Big day tomorrow, Mrs. Hale has a flight to catch. He vanished into the guest room, door clicking shut. I stood there, scotch burning sour in my throat, the rain mocking my solitude. The plan had worked. Dad's texts buzzed approval. Proud of you, son. She's a keeper. But beyond imagination, it had cracked open a chasm. And Connor, my Julia, my everything was teetering on the edge. Dawn crept in gray and grudging, the kind of Chicago morning that smelled like wet concrete and regret. I woke tangled in sheets, head pounding from half a bottle and half a confession. The guest room door still closed like a verdict. Coffee brewed on autopilot, dark roast. 2 sugars for him, while I scrolled Dad's emails. Boards thrilled. Secure the marriage legally. Stat. Legacy awaits. No mention of Julia's vanishing act. He'd swallowed the extended honeymoon line whole. Connor emerged at 8, back in his usual armor. Faded Levi's, a Blackhawks hoodie zipped to his chin, curls tousled like he'd wrestled sleep and lost. No trace of last night, no lace, no contour, just the faint whiskey shadow under his eyes. Morning. Sunshine, he drawled, snagging the mug without asking. You look like hell. Feel like it. I leaned on the counter, searching his face for cracks. About last night. Nope, he sipped, scalding, then set it down with finality. Water under the bridge. or rain on the window. Whatever. Plan worked. We're golden. Golden. The word tasted like tin. You dropped a bomb and nothing. He met my gaze. Steel in the blue. I was buzzed. Emotional. Drag'll do that method acting bleed over. Forget it. Lies. Both of us knew it, but pushing felt like tempting fate. So we fell into routine. Bagels toasted. SportsCenter muted. Banter light as foam on the lake. He crashed another night. Couches comfier than my studio walk-up, and by noon, we were knee-deep in damage control. Dad demanded proof. A quickie courthouse wedding certificate, photoshopped to perfection. Connor sourced a template from some shady Etsy drag forum. I faked the notary stamp with a Sharpie and scanner. Voila, he said, sliding the printout across the breakfast bar. Hail, party of two. Till death or disinheritance do us part. I traced the elegant script, Justin and Julia Hale. Cook County. IL and something twisted in my chest. This is us. Con. You and me. On paper. He snorted, but his fingers brushed mine lingering. Fictional as fanfic. Now, what's next? Board meeting charade. Next was survival. Dad summoned me to the Kenilworth estate that afternoon. Ivory tower of Rigliera excess. Manicured lawns rolling to the bluff. Connor tagged as moral support, lounging in the library while I faced the Inquisition in Dad's study. Mahogany walls, decanters gleaming, a portrait of Mom staring down like she knew. She's real. Then, Dad steepled his fingers, post-lunch scotch in hand. Julia. Not some rebound stunt. Real as it gets. I slid the cert across the blotter. Impulsive. Yeah. But she's everything. He scanned it, grunted approval. Good. Board votes next month. Your seat's secure if this holds. A pause. Eyes like augers. Don't cock it up, son. Hills endure. We don't. Experiment. The word hung, laced with old venom. I nodded, throat tight, and escaped to the library where Connor pored over leather-bound Hemingways, feigning interest. How'd it go? He whispered as we slipped out to the Jag. Survived. I gunned the engine onto Sheridan Road, wind whipping through the sunroof. He bought the cert. We're in. Fist bump for felonies. He obliged, but the contact sparked electric. Unwelcome. We drove in silence, magnificent mile flashing by, until he cracked the radio. Springsteen wailing Thunder Road, all escape and open highways. That night, the high faded. Alone in the apartment, Connor begged off for a shift at his barista gig. I paced, the cert mocking from the fridge. Loved you through it all. His words looped, a siren song. I texted, come over. Need to talk. His reply pinged instant. Can't. Rain check on rain checks. By midnight, paranoia gnawed. Was he ghosting the mess we'd made? Or worse, regretting the almost? I crashed hard. Dreams a slurry of silk gowns and shattered glass. Monday blurred into mergers. Hale Steelworks HQ downtown, loop tower of glass and grit, demanded my presence. Spreadsheets on tariffs, handshakes with suppliers from Pittsburgh. Dad's shadow loomed via conference call, peppering with how's the missus? I mumbled deflections. She's swamped with wedding plans. While Connor ghosted harder, texts curt, busy AF. Later. By Wednesday, the itch became ache. I hit Boys Town after work. Sidetracks thumping bass a balm for the bruise. Leather daddies and twinks swirled under disco lights, but my eyes scanned for blonde curls. No dice. A hookup, faceless, forgettable, left me hollower, stumbling home to voicemails. Dad gushing board prelims. Connor's voice clipped. Hey, man. Swamped. Call ya. Thursday. Cracked. Showed at his Wicker Park walk-up unannounced. Buzzed on bravado and bourbon. Rain slicked the stoop. He answered in sweats. Surprise widening those eyes. Jay? What's up? You. I shouldered in. The studio cramped with vinyl stacks and half-dead plants. You've been dodging. Since the gala. The almost kiss. The L-word. Talk. The raked curls. Pacing the Persian rug. Jesus. Justin. Boundaries. Screw boundaries. I closed the gap. Hearts hammering in sync. You said you loved me. Past tense? Present? What? He stopped. Back to the window. City glow haloing defeat. Present. Always. But it's fucked. Okay. You're straight washing for daddy dearest. And I'm your prop wife. If we go there real, your world's implodes. Mine too. Collateral. My world. I grabbed his arm. Spinning him. This is my world, hiding, faking. With you, it's the first real breath I've taken in years. Lips crashed then, desperate, tasting of coffee and salt. His hands fisted my shirt, pulling close, mine tangled in curls, angling deeper. The kiss was fire, years of tension igniting, tongues mapping familiar yet new terrain. He moaned, low, backing us to the futon, bodies aligning like puzzle pieces long lost. We broke for air, foreheads pressed, breaths ragged. This, he gasped, is beyond the plan. Way beyond. Then let's burn it. I kissed his neck, pulse fluttering under my lips. You and me. No more Julia. Just us. He pulled back. I searching. Vulnerable. What about Harlan? The inheritance. Fuck the steal. Reckless. True. I'll walk if I have to. But not from this, from you. A beat. Then his smile tentative. Radiant. Okay. Us. We tumbled then. Clothes shedding like old skins. Rain pattering applause. His body under mine. Lean muscle from pickup basketball. Freckles dusting like stars. Touches tentative at first. Exploring the best friend I'd always known. Now lover. Whispers. Here. Guiding my hand. God. Yes. Arching into me. It was slow. Reverent. Laughter bubbling when elbows knocked. Sighs deepening as rhythm built. Climax hit like thunder. Wave after wave. Leaving us wrecked. Entwined. The world reduced to sweat-slick skin and shared silence. After. Pillows propped. His head on my chest. Fingers tracing my ribs. This changes everything, he murmured. For the better. I kissed his temple, certainty settling like dew. But dawn brought the serpent. My phone buzzed, Dad urgent. Board fast tracks vote. Bring Julia to dinner. Friday. Kenilworth. No excuses. Connor stirred, reading over my shoulder. Shit. Back to the drag. I groaned, but his grin sparked mischief. One more night. Then we tell him, together. Team hail. He saluted, but unease flickered. I dismissed it, lost in the new us. Friday prep was chaos. Connor raiding boutiques on Michigan Avenue. This sheath dress screams boardroom bombshell. While I fielded Dad's calls, voice steady with borrowed courage. By dusk, he emerged from the bathroom transformed. Raven wig this time. For variety, crimson lips, a string of pearls Mom once wore. Your wife, sir, he curtsied, but the wink was all Connor. The drive north was charged, his hand on my thigh, radio crooning Adele ballads. After this, he vowed, no more closets. We're out. Loud. Kenilworth glowed under gas lamps, the estate's gates parting like jaws. Dad greeted us on the portico, Tiffany trailing, her laugh tinkling false. Julia, radiant as ever, his kiss on Connor's cheek lingered, praising. Come, dinner awaits. Boards joining virtual, but eyes on. The dining room was Renaissance fare opulent. Crystal Ypern, silver underplates, venison in reduction. Connor charmed, bantering tariffs with suits on the screen, fluttering lashes at Dad's anecdotes. Harlan, you're a force, he cooed, like Justin unyielding. Dad beamed, carving the roast. Family trait. Speaking of grandkids, clocks ticking. Connor's fork paused. My gut clenched. Soon, I lied, squeezing his knee under damask. Post-dessert, cigars in the study. Dad pulled me aside while Julia freshened up. She's gold, son. But, odd vibe. That voice trained, and the hands, calloused. Actress, background in theater, I ad-libbed. Pulse racing. Passionate type, he hummed, unconvinced, but the call came, vote unanimous. You're in. Elation surged, hugs exchanged. Connor re-entered then, composed, but as we said goodnights, promising soon on grandkids, Dad's grip on my arm tightened. Protect it, Justin. This life. Don't let whims steal it again. Outside, under magnolias, Connor exhaled. Holy shit. We did it. I pulled him close, no audience now, kissing fierce. Last performance. Tomorrow. Truth. His nod was fierce. But in the Jag's headlights, doubt shadowed his face. Yeah. Truth. That night, back in the city, we made love again, urgent, celebratory. But as he slept, arms slung over me, my phone lit, a text from an unknown. Tell Connor to call home. Now. Months later, I'd learn. Marcus, Connor's ex from college. The one who'd ghosted after coming out drama. The one who'd slithered back, whispering poisons. For now, I deleted it, pulling Connor closer. The plan had worked beyond imagination. But imagination has teeth. The weekend unfurled like a truce, lazy brunches at Wildberry Pancakes, walks along the lakefront where dog walkers and joggers blurred into anonymity. Connor and I, hand in hand under the guise of just bros, tested the new normal. Stolen kisses behind the Shed Aquarium's beluga exhibit. His head on my shoulder during a matinee of Chicago at the Oriental, laughing at the irony of corrupt facades. Our life's better than this musical, he whispered, fingers laced with mine in the dark. Monday brought the honeymoon phase's edge work. Hale Steelworks swallowed me. Endless meetings on supply chains disrupted by Rust Belt ghosts. Dad's memos demanding wifely updates. I dodged with vague Julia's traveling emails. But the board's whispers grew. Who's the mystery bride? PR photo op? Connor. Meanwhile, juggled barista shifts and graphic design gigs, crashing at mine most nights. Our rhythms solidified, mornings tangled in Egyptian cotton, evenings cooking pasta al dente while Springsteen spun on vinyl. But the text lingered, a splinter. Tell Connor to call home. I'd buried it, but paranoia festered. Who was them? Why home? Connor's folks were benign. Mom's yoga studio, Dad's accounting firm, no drama there. When I probed casual, hey, any exes blowing up your phone? He'd deflect with a kiss. Only you, boss. By midweek, the lie's weight returned. Dad insisted on a family summit, Sunday lunch at the estate. No proxies. Bring her, he barked over speaker. Tiffany's cooking paella. Make it official. Connor balked in the kitchen, chopping garlic for carbonara. Again, we just locked the inheritance. Seal the deal. I nuzzled his neck, inhaling his scent, clean sweat and sandalwood. One more show. Then boom. Surprise. Dad. It's a him. He tensed, knife pausing. Boom? More like bunker buster. You ready for the fallout? Disownment? Shares to some cousin in Milwaukee? I turned him, cupping his face, stubble rough under my thumbs. Ready for you. The rest will build back. Steel runs in my veins, not his rules. His eyes softened, but doubt lingered. Love you, Jay. But love's not armor. That night, lovemaking was tender, almost mournful, slow grinds and whispered vows against collarbones. Promise me, he murmured post-climax, tracing my jaw. If it craters, we run. California. Beaches, not boardrooms. Promise. But sleep evaded. The city hummed accusations outside. Sunday dawned brutal, lake effect chill biting through Burberry. Connor prepped in the guest bath. Blonde wig this round. For variety. A sundress from TJ Maxx. Floral and forgiving. Think June Cleaver meets RuPaul, he joked. But his mirror gaze was steel. I paced the living room, adjusting my polo, the cert on the mantle a talisman. The drive was silent, WBEZ droning NPR on tariffs. At Kenilworth, Tiffany greeted with air kisses, her Lululemon ensemble screaming trophy. Julia, love the dress? Anthropology? Connor simpered yes. But under the table, his hand squeezed mine like a lifeline. Paella steamed, saffron gold, shrimp curling like questions. Dad dominated war stories from 82 recessions, veiled jabs at soft millennials. You two, kids when? He speared a muscle, eyes on Connor. Soon, I echoed the script, but Connor's laugh rang false. Adoptions on the table. World needs more love, right? Dad's fork clattered. Adoption? Hell, Justin. Hale bloodline ends? Thought Julia here was prime stock. Tension crackled like static. Tiffany tittered. Connor flushed under foundation. Harlan. Times evolve. Blood's overrated, heart's the legacy. Silence. Thick. Dad's gaze bored into him, her probing. Evolve. Huh? Like your interests? Heard whispers. Julia. Art scene. Theater. Connor's alto wavered. Guilty. Directing dreams. Once. Past tense. Dad leaned in. Shark-like. What's a girl like you doing with my boy? Then, not the spotlight. I intervened. Heart slamming. Dad. But Connor waved me off. Poised. Spotlights fleeting. Justin's my anchor. Steady, like your mills. Dad grunted, appeased, but the seed sown. Dessert, flan wobbling like my resolve. Passed in small talk. But as we rose, he cornered Connor by the credenza. A word. Julia? I hovered, eavesdropping from the hall. Muffled, odd fit. Watch him close. Then Connor's voice. Edged, I do. Every second. Back in the jag. He slumped, wig itching. He's on to something. The bloodline bit hit too close. Forget it. I revved onto the Edens, hand on his knee. 2 weeks. We spill. My terms. Home. He showered off the facade, steam fogging the glass. My silhouette watching. Emerging towel-clad, he pulled me to bed, urgency masking fear. Make me forget, he begged. And we did, bodies crashing like waves on breakwater, moans echoing off loft beams. Monday's mail brought the blade. Amid junk, a manila envelope, no return. Inside, photos grainy, damning. Connor and me, post-gala, terrace embrace, lips brushing. Timestamp, 1:17 a.m. Followed by prints from Boys Town, my arm around some twink. And worse, Connor, last year, locked in a bar kiss with a brunette woman, outside Big Chicks. A note, typed, family first, Justin. Whims end legacies. Choose. That. Had to be. The handwriting on the envelope matched his memos. Rage boiled. I stormed the tower that afternoon, bursting into his office mid-call with Tokyo. You sick fuck, I snarled, slamming photos down. Spying? Blackmail? He hung up, face granite. Sit. No, I loomed, fists clenched. The pics are night? You tailed us? Discretion, son. Hired a firm after the gala. Julia's. Inconsistencies. Voice logs. Backgrounds. He tapped the stack. She's no she. Connor Riley. DePaul dropout. Barista. Your fag bestie. The slur landed like a gut punch. Say it again. Old man. Truth hurts. He rose, circling the desk, predator assessing prey. Knew you were twisted since the diary. Thought the army'd fix it. West Point offer. Remember? You bailed. West Point. I laughed. Hollow. To die for your ego? For family. He jabbed a finger. This your little play act. Mocks it. Bored sniffing. Shares teeter. End it. Ditch the pansy. Find a real wife. Or lose everything. Everything. The word echoed, mills employing thousands. Mom's endowments to the Art Institute. My shot at green steel retrofits. But Connor's face flashed. Curls damp from rain. Eyes trusting. Fuck your everything. I swept the photos to the floor. I'm gay. He's mine. Deal. Dad's laugh was ice. Gay? In this town. With my name. He sank back. Deflated. Walk. Then. But no key to the kingdom. Your Harlan Hale's disappointment. I walked. Elevator descent felt like freefall. 30 floors of empire crumbling. Outside, loop chaos swallowed me. Cabs honking, pigeons scattering. Text to Connor, it's out. Coming home. His reply, wait. Need to talk first. Unease prickled. I detoured to Wicker Park. His studio dark. Neighbor buzzed me up. Haven't seen him since yesterday. Odd. Back to Astor Street. Key turning like a betrayal. Empty, his hoodie gone from the hook. Vinyls missing from shelves. Note on the counter. Handwriting shaky. Jay, your dad's PI called me. Threats, my job. Mom's studio. Can't drag you down. Or me. Ending it clean. Love always, but goodbye. See. No. Heart seized. I bolted, calling. Voicemailing, please. Where are you? Fight this together. Silence. His phone, straight to voicemail. Night fell. Rain lashing renewed. I tore through contacts. Barista boss. Quit this morning. No notice. Oak Park folks. Visit? No. Dear. He's fine. Boys Town haunts. Nothing. By dawn. Desperation clawed. Marcus, that text. Googled. Connor Riley plus Marcus Hale, no. Wait. Marcus Hale? A cousin? No ex. But the notes H echoed. Hacking old emails. I found it. Connor's breakup thread with Marcus. 3 years back. You're using me, Connor had written. Hiding behind the straight X facade while chasing your cousin's shadow, Justin's. Marcus. Dad's sister's boy. Minor exec at the firm. The kiss in the photos? Bait? Perhaps. But the betrayal? Deeper. Connor had loved me then, too. Confessed in a drunken email I'd never seen. Buried in spam. Can't watch you pine for him, Jay. Breaking us to save you. Dad's PI hadn't just spied. He'd weaponized old wounds. Funneled through Marcus. End it, or we expose your history. Family sticks together. Betrayal layered, Dad's machinations. Connor's preemptive flight to shield me. I drove. Aimless. Lakefront. Then south to Gary's rusting skeletons. Steel ghosts mocking. 3 days blurred. No sleep. Scotch for sustenance. Dad's calls ignored. Board emails piled, interim CEO named. Legacy lost. Then, a ping, Connor. From a burner. Union Station. 8 p.m. One chance. Relief flooded. Sharp as pain. I raced downtown. Rain biblical. Wipers slashing. The great hall loomed. Beaux-Arts grandeur. Travelers scurrying like ants. He waited under the whispering clock. Duffel at feet. Face gaunt. Eyes hollow. Con. I reached, he stepped back. Don't. This is goodbye. No. I blocked escape. Voice cracking. We fight. Together. He laughed. Wet. Fight what? Your dad's got dossiers, my drag past. Hookups. That time I crashed a gala as Julia for Kicks pre-plan. Marcus fed it all, old grudge. Thinks I'm poison. Marcus. Rage anew. That prick. Doesn't matter. Tears tracked his cheeks. You need the empire. Clean break. Marry some beard for show. I'll fade, Portland. Maybe. Start over. My empire's you. I cupped his face. Thumbs swiping salt. Screw the shares. I love you, real. Messy. No wigs. His sob broke. Body sagging into mine. Love you too. But pain, it's too much. For both. Then let it hurt. I kissed him, fierce. Claiming they're in the throng. Oblivious crowds parting. He yielded. Fists clutching my jacket. The world narrowing to us. Pulling back. Gasping. Run with me. A beat. Station echoing arrivals. Departures. His nod. Tentative. Yeah. Run. We bolted then, hands locked, duffel swinging into the storm, Chicago fading behind. The plan had worked beyond imagination. Not just survival, but salvation. But imagination demands sacrifice, and ours was just beginning. No, wait. The twist lingered. As we hit the L platform, boarding a red line north, my phone buzzed. Final, Dad. He's using you. Come home. Fix this. I powered off, leaning into Connor's warmth. Fix? We'd redefine it. Portland wasn't Chicago's jagged edge. It was softer, fog-kissed, with food carts hawking bison burgers and the Willamette murmuring forgiveness. We crashed first in a Pearl District Airbnb, loft with exposed brick, fern views, a bed that swallowed our exhaustion. Connor slept 16 hours straight, waking to my takeout Thai, ice puffy but alive. New start, he mumbled, chopsticks clinking. No hails, no steel. Just us. The word anchored. I landed freelance consulting, sustainable builds for tech startups. Irony not lost, greening the rust-eyed fled. Connor chased graphic design, his portfolio blooming with queer-positive campaigns. Pride posters for local breweries, album art for indie queers. Nights, we explored, hikes in Forest Park where Douglas firs dwarfed doubts, dives into Alberta Arts District's galleries, hands brushing amid street murals of liberated lovers. But ghosts trailed. Dad's voicemails piled, unlistened, gravelly pleas morphing to ultimatums. Boards fracturing. Your seat gone. Then, softer, son. Talk. I deleted, but Connor caught me once, screen glowing in the dark. Let it go, he urged, curling into me. We're free. Free felt fragile. Marcus surfaced next, a LinkedIn poke, then email cousin's a fool. Come back. I miss you. Attached old photo. Us three at a family picnic. Connor photobombed in the background. Wistful. I blocked. But the worm burrowed. Had Connor's flight been total escape, or half measure, 6 weeks in, the crack widened. Connor's mood swung. Euphoric sketches 1 hour, withdrawn silences the next. Just jet lag, he'd quip, but his phone buzzed anonymous. Miss the city? He deleted, but I saw. Confrontation brewed over Powell's Books Hall. Kerouac for me, Audre Lorde for him. Back in the loft, rain pattering. I pressed. Who's texting? Marcus. He deflated onto the Eames knockoff. Book tumbling. Yeah. Digging up old shit. Says he. Changed. Wants coffee. Coffee. Jealousy flared. Hot. After he ratted to Dad? Used your history like ammo. History. He raked curls. Now streaked hipster purple. We were kids. J. Toxic, him in the closet. Me the beard sometimes. But he knows me. The drag. The doubts. Says he gets it now. And I don't. Paste. Fern fronds brushing like accusations. I've seen you raw post-gala breakdowns. Your first pride float terror. I love all of it. His eyes welled. Love? Or pity? You fled empire for this, for me. What if it's not enough? Enough! I knelt, hands on knees. You're everything. The plan showed me that pretend became prophecy. A sob escaped. Prophecy or prison? Dad's calls, your voice when you ignore them. This city's great, But you're half here, Justin. Chained to Gary ghosts. The truth stung. Nights, I'd wake to skyline dreams, loop lights, Dad's study, while Connor sketched beside me, Portland his canvas. Then we cut deeper, I vowed. Therapy? Road trip? Whatever chains us, we shatter. He nodded, pulling me up to dance. Slow sway to Coltrane on the turntable. Bodies sinking like gala waltzes, minus the wig. Lovemaking followed, urgent reclamation. His gasps against my neck, my name a mantra. Stay, I whispered in the afterglow. Build with me. I am. But dawn brought another buzz. Family dinner. Last chance. Dad. Relentless. I smashed the phone, screen spiderwebbing, earning Connor's wide eyes. Whoa. Portland punk rock. Done hiding. Adrenaline surged. We go back. Face him. End it. Back. He bolted up. Sheet pooling. To what? Lawsuits? Disgrace. To closure. I cupped his face. Together. Show him us unbreakable. Fear ward in his blue. Then resolve. Okay. But on our terms. No more Julia. Just Connor, your husband. If you'll have me, husband. The word ignited. Vegas for real? No fake certs. His grin broke. Tear-streaked. Deal. But first, survive Harlan. We flew coach. Budget bomb for lost fortunes. Landing O'Hare amid jet-lag dread. The apartment stood unchanged. Dust motes and sunbeams. Our scents mingled. Connor raided the closet for armor. His old Northwestern tee. My leather jacket, while I called Dad. Dinner. Tonight. Our place. Bring the board if you want. Truth time. His paws crackled. Finally. Astor Street filled with ghosts as twilight fell. Takeout from Giordano's. Deep dish steaming. Connor paced. Cracking knuckles. I poured bourbon. Steadying nerves. Doorbell at 7. Dad alone. Trench coat dripping. Face etched deeper than last. Son. No hug. Just entry. I skipping to Connor, casual. Curls free. No illusion. And him. Connor. He extended hand. Dad ignored. Shedding coat. We sat, couch versus wingback. Pizza congealing. Talk. Dad steepled. Scotch declined. I dove the plan. The gala. The awakening. It started fake for you. But it unearthed truth. I'm gay. Love him. End of empire? Fine. But this us is my legacy. Dad's silence deafened. Gaze flicking between. Then, to Connor, you. Knew my boy since college. Watched him. Struggle. Connor nodded. Voice steady. Struggled with you, Harlan. The closet you built. Dad flinched. Built? I protected. The city steel world eats soft spots. Thought marriage'd shield him. Like your mother. Voice cracked. Rare fracture. Mom. I leaned forward. She knew? About me? A nod. Saw the diary first. Burned it to spare you my father's wrath. He disowned me once for debts. Swore I'd armor you better. Armor. The word twisted, love as cage. By erasing me? By enduring. He rubbed temples. Boards fracturing, your seat's placeholder. But shares. They're yours if you sign. Conditions. Discretion. No scandals. Keep it quiet. Quiet. Connor's laugh barked. Like your PI stalking? Marcus's games. Dad's eyes narrowed. Marcus? That boy's grudge. Jealous since you chose Justin over him. Years back. I shut him down. Chose? Echoed. Gut dropping. Connor paled. College. He propositioned. I said no, loved you already. He twisted it. Fed lies to your dad later. Dad grunted. Knew he was snake. Fired him last month. Layers peeled, betrayals unspooling. But Dad's offer hung, wealth for whispers. No, I stood, resolute. No conditions. I'm out. Proud. Dad rose. Face crumpling, old man. Not magnate. You'll regret. Penniless. Like me at your age. Worth it. Connor's hand in mine. Steel. A beat. Then Dad's sigh. World-weary. Stubborn. Like her. He pulled an envelope, shares transfer. Unconditional. For you. Always was. But the name Hale carries weight. Don't squander. He left then. Door clicking soft. We stood. Stunned. Pizza cold. He gave in. Connor whispered. Gave up. I pulled him close. Kissing temple. Our win. But victory tasted bittersweet. That night. Tangled. His whispers. Vegas tomorrow? Tomorrow. Dawn flight, slot machines and neon our chapel. No Elvis. Just us. Clerk board. Rings simple gold. I do, Connor vowed. Eyes shining. Beyond plans. Husband. The word sealed it. Portland called greener now. But Chicago tugged. The tether. Dad's next call, congrats. Discreet wedding? Fine. Visit soon. Tiffany's asking for recipes. Progress. Glacial. We returned. Loft sublet. Astor Street home. Life layered. My green steel startup. Connor's designs for Pride collectives. Dates at Alinea. No hiding hands. Yet, the beyond lingered. One night, post-gala redux, charity for LGBTQ youth. Dad cornered us on the terrace. Real this time. Proud, he muttered, clapping my shoulder, nodding to Connor. Both, tears pricked his, mine. Armor cracking. The plan? It birthed us not just survival, but soul. Winter clamped Chicago in iron. Lake freezes etching the horizon. Wind off Michigan whipping scarves into flags. Our first holiday as husbands donned fraught. Dad's invite to Kenilworth. Neutral ground. Connor balked over eggnog lattes at Intelligentsia. Thanksgiving with the tyrant? But I saw the olive branch. Olive as his eyes. Test run. I coaxed. Nuzzling over foam. He's trying. Like the shares, no strings. Fine. He relented. But tension hummed. Prep was ritual. His curls tamed. My beard trimmed. Rings polished. The estate loomed festive, garlands on gates. Tiffany's lights twinkling false welcome. Dinner was tableau. Turkey carved precise. Yams candied sweet. Dad at head. Us flanks. Tiffany chattered weather. Toasts clinked. To family. And for moments, it held. Connor's quips on Portland's rains drawing Dad's rusty chuckle. Post pie. Study summons. Bourbon poured. Fire crackling. Dad eyed us. Glass swirling. Marriage suit you. Justin's. Lighter. Love does that. Connor's hand in mine. Bold. Dad nodded. gaze distant. Your mother, met her at a mixer. Knew in 5 minutes. But doubts. Always. Never voiced. Doubts. The word unlocked. About me, depressed. About me, his exhale smoked. Mill days, Gary bars. After shifts. A foreman. Rough. One night. Too much pabst. Regrets? No. But the life it cost. He trailed. Eyes on flames. Chose you. Armor. Humanity cracked the magnate. Flawed. Fearing. You chose wrong, I said. Soft. But we choose now. He raised glass. To choices. Thawing began. Weekly calls. Dad's gruff, how's the missus? Evolving to Connor's latest design. Spring brought joint ventures. My startup Steel Source Sustainable. His logos branding it queer forward. Pride Month. He marched incognito. Sign half hidden. Allies evolve. But romance's core pulsed private. Anniversaries in Boys Town lofts. Slow dances to Thunder Road on Astor balconies. Lovemaking evolved, playful mornings. Intense storms, each touch a vow renewed. Beyond imagination, Connor'd murmur, tracing my ring. Yet, imagination tests. Summer scorched. Dad's health faltered. Prostate shadow. Scans pending. Hospital vigils in Rush's sterile halls. Connor and I tag teaming. My hand in his stories distracting. Remember the gala? He'd tease Dad. You called me striking. Dad's rasp. Still our son-in-law. The word landed, acceptance's quiet bomb. Remission came autumn. Fragile gift. We celebrated lakeside. Sailboat rented. Champagne popped. Dad, frail but fierce. Toasting. To hails, redefined. Winter circled back. Softer. Our second holiday. Kenilworth full. Cousins. Marcus exiled. Tiffany's pie redeemed. Laughter echoed. Real. But the arc bent humanistic. Not fairy dust. Dad's decline accelerated. Cancer's cruel return. Met scattering. Hospice in Kenilworth. Us rotating. My readings of Hemingway. Connor's sketches on bedside easels. Portraits of Mom. Vibrant. Final days. Lucid spells. Proud. Boys. Fixed what I broke. His hand. Mine and Connor's clasped over it. Pulse fading. Funeral was Steel Town somber. Gary Mills shuddered. Eulogy's booming legacy. But graveside. Under indifferent sky. Connor's whisper. He evolved. Like us. We did. Empire dissolved. Shares donated. Half to Queer Youth Foundations. Half green retrofits for Gary. No throne. But purpose. Years layered. My consultancy boomed. Connor's firm designing global pride icons. Travels. Portland reunions. Vegas vow renewal sans Elvis. Love deepened. Wrinkles etching laughs. Gray threading curls. One night. Decades on. Astor balcony same as Gala Eve. Rain soft. City eternal. Connor. Silvered. Leaned into me. The plan wild. Right? Best friend as wife. Wife. Husband. Heart. I kissed him. Enduring. Worked beyond. He grinned. Eyes lake blue still. Damn right. And in that, humanism. Not perfection, but persistence. Betrayals forged stronger. Conflicts carved capacity. We two men. One improbable spark, built not steel, but story. American as jazz riffs, resilient as lake ice. Fade to skyline, thunder distant. The end? No, just next chapter.